We were all cherry-cheeked anime fans at some point. Sadly, that time usually ends with a bang. It's time for bad anime shows to get what they finally deserve. No matter how many episodes or how bad it is, I'll prevail and beat them all. It's time for Undroppable. I wonder if witchcraft really does work. Well, according to this title, it does. But I've been fooled by titles before, like Final Fantasy, which is anything but final. So let's get this one on the chopping block to see if it's true what it claims. Based off the manga series, which is both written and illustrated by Ryu Mizunagi, starting its publication in 2011, and is brought to us by JC Staff, hitting screens during the winter of 2014. So this show follows Takemiya, who is our resident ordinary guy. That isn't, they just don't know it. He gets involved with Kagari, the most beautiful girl in school. No matter what some people of the internet say about her looking more like a man than the main character does, these two never interact yet seem to always be near each other, as you can't write that shit subtle enough. And all's well till shit finally gets flung with an attack on Takemiya. Then we get to learn about the world of the witches, and how there are two different groups fighting. The Tower Witches that are all power, showing them humans who's the boss, you know, the classic power crazy stuff. Then in the opposite corner we have the Workshop Witches, that set up bases in towns and cities to protect the citizens from the Tower Witches. So these Tower Witches send their best Team Rocket to get Takemiya, but they can't get anywhere near him due to Kagami, who just so happens to be the daughter of the Workshop Witch in charge of this city, and is also broken as fuck. Seriously, that's her main thing. She's a fire mage that is also invincible as long as Takemiya is near her. This series follows these two and how Takemiya wants to learn how to fight to protect himself, as well as help Kagami, but she only teaches him how to run away and not how to fight. Various bad guys appear from the Tower Witches after Takemiya, but they're really after what's sealed inside of him, a being called Evermillion, who needs to be sealed inside him and him alone due to him being special? Okay, I have no idea why she is sealed inside of him, as if there is a reason, they never say it, as he's literally a normal guy from every angle. There's no specific reason it needs to be him. A hobo on the corner could do just as good a job as he does. Then shit goes down as the city gets bombed to shit by one of the witches after him, who gets beaten. Big surprise there when you're fighting someone invincible, I know. Then the series ends. Nothing really explained as to who Evermillion is, why the Tower Witches are after her, the relationship between Kagami and Takemiya as children, and generally a lack of real plot. As in, stuff just happens in Witchcraft Works, not really following much of any plot, other than he has thing, me want thing. It's like Shakugan no Shana, but with far less world and background building. The whole main seller for this was the reverse damsel angle they went with, but you need more than that for a show to be good, or at least interesting. Shana did it well. Witchcraft Works didn't, as they just reverse the trope and stick to it rigidly. All the fights have no sense of danger to them, as Kagami is invincible, which is always the most boring thing to have in a show. Sure, they limit it so Takemiya needs to be near her, but they never use it much, and when they do, they bullshit their way out of it, as apparently having his shirt on counts towards him being near, and lets her be invincible. Seriously, they do that, making the one almost suspenseful fight instantly crap with one fell swoop. This is by far one of the weakest recent JC Staff shows I've seen. The ending song, I'll give them, is pretty good, it's nice and catchy, but that's the only thing likeable really, as none of the characters make me care about them, as they are literally just cardboard cutouts that don't develop at all. Maybe if they built the world up more, I'd care for this show, as the whole secret society mage thing is very fun and is something I've liked from anime like Negima to RPGs like Mage the Ascension. But you have to build that world and make it appear as something that can influence the area the show is in, as if you don't, there is no point to it being there. But even if they had built the world right, most of the problems lie with the main two, as Takemiya is bland and boring, and Kagami is bland and broke as shit, with Kagami being the worst offender, as I really hate the emotionless girl type character, as I find it impossible to feel anything for them when they literally have no emotions or expressions other than the "did you just fart" face. So yeah, for me Witchcraft Works didn't do anything. I'd rather watch Shana as it did this trope well, along with a much stronger plot and characters. If you guys know something I missed, please tell me, as this one just baffles me as to why it's a thing. And with that, I'll see you in the next Undroppable.